What is going on, you guys? A21 Mayo here, and in today's video I'm excited to bring you guys a guide and tip video on how to drastically improve your KD in the year 2022. We're going to be talking about anything from how and when to play aggressive or passive in any situation, positioning and going in depth on that, making the enemy make the mistakes for you so that way it makes your job easier on getting these kills, and how to eliminate angles and so many other important topics for increasing KD. So if you're looking for a video on how to drastically improve your KD in year 7 of Rainbow Six Siege, this video is definitely for you. But with all of that being said, let's jump into the video. So as you can see here, I have an assortment of clips, and I'm going to be showing you guys these clips and kind of explaining my thought process, why I'm doing these things, and how this can apply to you, so that way you guys have a visual representation so it's easier for you guys to learn and grasp kind of what I'm talking about. Okay, so the first thing I want to cover is how to be aggressive and when to be aggressive. So the big 3 things that you can apply to any situation on when and how to be aggressive or passive is man count, time, and map control. So if you and your team have really good map control and man count, but the time is a little lacking, as you know, if you're on defense, then you don't need to play aggressive, right? Because the attackers can come to you. But if you're on attack and your man count is low, but you have really good map control, you may want to look for a pick, maybe 2, to even out the man count. So it really does depend on the situation, but applying those 3 basic concepts of time, map control, and man count, and kind of reading the situation on whether you need to play aggressive or play passive, whether you're on attack and defense, is an excellent start that I help a lot of my clients in my coaching service as well. There's a link to that below in the description, and I've seen great improvement with those 3 things, and you know, helping my clients with those kind of things. So in this situation, this is a situation where I'm going to be getting aggressive in this clip, and the reason for that is because my teammate is currently calling out server hatches open, and she sounds very stressed out. So I am getting control on another area of the map while we may lose one. Does that make sense? So if this mirror dies, I know that we're going to be put in a 3v4 situation. They're also opening the open hatches currently. So to give you an example of what I just said between the 3 things of man count, map control, and time, we're going to be low on man count. The attackers are going to have a lot of map control with a lot of time left. So do you see how you can apply those 3 things to any situation, and how that kind of equation or formula does give you the answer? Should I play passive? Should I play aggressive? And how should I go about it? So this situation here, I'm getting aggressive on main stairs because they're taking server, so I'm taking what has less resistance because I know that they're more heavy server side in open area. So I take this, preparing for myself to take open area and get more aggressive. So as you see there, my teammate dies in server, so exactly what I'm saying. So roughly 8 seconds from what I just, when I was just on main stairs. Now as you see here, you know, depending on how the situation plays out, which I'll explain something that makes me play really aggressive here in a moment, but depending on how the situation plays out, either way, I'm going to want to check my my open area deep, just in case someone might be back there holding a deep angle. Because if I'm holding the tight angle here on the cross, you know, the entire time from like this area, I'm holding that cross, then it doesn't matter. They can't cross without me seeing them. Does that make sense? So I'm clearing my deep open area first, so that way I don't need to clear it when I want to take open area, or when I need to, rather. Does that make sense? So I'm pre-clearing this, so that way I know the less there's a less likely of a chance for someone to be there. So I clear all that.
I heard audio.
So my teammate is calling drop server. So you know, as that's being called out, you know, when they're taking server this early on in the round, that's telling me, okay, they're probably going to be taking site control and things like that a little bit earlier.
There's someone up there.
So that's a lot of information there. Enemies found bomb B, so that is going to be the lockers bomb there, and that's from them swinging, you know, in server and out of server through the door, because the red rotate into lockers and things like that. So I don't know if you guys heard that audio cue there, but that is the audio cue of someone dropping. So that's what makes me immediately play more aggressive in this situation. And you hear it twice. So you actually heard one audio cue of someone dropping, and then you heard the second audio cue of someone dropping. So that is what is going to determine should I play aggressive or should I play passive. Now there's two reasons for this in this situation why I decided to play so aggressive. I heard 2 people drop from open area, so the chances of that being a 1v1 now is extremely high because I know 1 person's server, I know 2 dropped open area hatch, and there's 4 attackers left. So if we just eliminate 3 out of the 4, then I know that I have a 1v1 on open area, and if I win that 1v1, then I have hatch control.
They dropped hatch.
So a big thing that I'm going to be talking about throughout this series, or sorry, this video as well, is pre-aim. Pre-aim levels and everything like that is super important, and the reason for that is because Siege is a 1-bullet headshot game, right? So if you have really locked in pre-aim, and I'll have other examples later on in the video, but if you have locked in pre-aim and you are able to, you know, hit your first, second bullet on the head every single time, it's going to drastically, you know, change the chances and drastically improve your KD because you're winning the gunfight sooner, and also the gunfights are a lot easier to win just because it takes 1 bullet versus half of a mag or whatever it might be. So if you have bad pre-aim or want to improve it, T-hunt is a great way. Just being conscious of it while you're T-hunting, so that way when you are in game or whatever it might be, it becomes a habit and it's just locked in at all times, so that way you don't ever have to worry about it.
1 friendly remaining.
I didn't even see her drop.
Okay, so as you see here, I'm getting hyper aggressive because I know that the attackers just dropped the bomb site. So I'm taking advantage of me having open hatch control, and I now have the height advantage as well. And I know that they're in sight, dropping site, whatever it might be, just, you know, scattered all around. So that's the reason for me playing so aggressive and what led me to be aggressive in these in this situation here.
Oh my god, I'm like stuttering around so bad.
Okay, so in this next situation here, this is going to be an example of me playing passive and also the enemy making the mistakes for me. So kind of 2 in 1. But the big thing that I want to focus on here is my ability to be so passive and control areas of the map that I know are very crucial for my attacking team. So that way, if I die, we don't lose them. Does that make sense? So I'm kind of like a beacon and a leg, so to speak, to the structure of my overall attacking team. So it's very important that I know that and take advantage of that. So I do play a little aggressive at the beginning here just because we are trying to take this map control and we can't exactly just walk into the enemy's arms, right? So we're fighting back, we're winning gunfights, and things like that. But the big thing that I want you guys to focus on is just my ability to be passive. So that's pretty basic what I did here. So I heard the Mozzie shoot over here, and my teammate I know has that area, right? This Iana, that doorway in reception. So I'm going to loop around because I know this Mozzie is in this general area, and I know that in order for him to oppose a threat to me near coat check area, he has to rotate down the hallway, which he did do, and I caught him on his rotation into coat check. So I took advantage of the information that I had to my availability there. I also know that we have someone in VIP, so that's why I swung out in the hallway like that. That is pure luck. You know, I don't really want to go too in depth on that just because that was like luck pretty much. So as you see here, this is what I'm talking about with me being in such a prime position. I can control red hallway, whiskey, VIP. By the way, if you guys don't know these callouts, so if this is coat check here, the room that I'm in currently, and this is the window, you know, that X is me. You have reception, which I'm looking through, and then you have the doorway here where that X is at, and then you have like VIP area over here. You know, this would be brown stairs where these lines are at, and then you have the red hallway here where this big R is, and then you have small bake here as well. So SM, something like that, small bakery. So you know, coat, reception, red hallway, VIP, all that good stuff, and then brown stairs at the top left of the graphic there. But if you look at what I control here, I control all of these areas and the hallway just from this one room, right? So I know how crucial this area is. So once we get these picks, I kill the Mozzie and then I refrag. I don't remember exactly who died to the Wamai, but I refragged the Wamai. And now we have 1 minute and 30 seconds left. So going back to what I said, right? I'm in a very good piece of map control, okay? Very crucial. We have a decent amount of time to our advantage as the attackers, but we are low on man count. So these are the 3 factors, again, what I said, that determines whether you should play passive or aggressive. I'm not playing aggressive here because we have really crucial map control that is crippling to the defenders and very advantageous for my team as the attackers. And we have pretty decent time. So we can stall, you know, waste 20, 30 seconds, whatever it might be, because we have a minute and a half of the round left and we're so developed into the map already. Like we've already inserted ourselves so deep. So do you see how these kind of points of whether you should play passive or aggressive kind of determine the outcome and how you should approach situations like that? I hope it's making sense. So I know Doc is VIP just because my teammate died to him, and you know, I also hear him shooting over there. Now I hear him walking. I hear some walking here. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear it in the video, but I hear like some shuffling of footsteps. So I assume that he's gonna be walking up to this doorway or in the hallway. It doesn't really matter because either way, I'm in a position and in a room where I can fight either direction. So as you see there, that was actually the alibi that I killed, not the Doc, the primary operator that I was looking to eliminate. But either way, me playing passive there, I think that was roughly 10 seconds of me just waiting, holding an angle, and pumping the brakes like I said. And I allowed the enemy to make the mistake for me, walk into me versus me pursuing them because I know the position that I'm in based off map control and time. So as you see there, I immediately go to a different angle to swing on the Doc in VIP. I don't vault through reception because the alibi is most likely going to call up my position. I don't want to make myself predictable in the Doc's you know, gunfight between him and I.
Lies are here. I know, but
so now that I know roughly where the last two are at, I don't know exactly where the person on site is, but I know that Doc is somewhere VIP, so I'm going to get a lot more crucial information on him first, so that way I know, okay, is he going to swing out in the hallway as I try to swing out and go rendezvous with my teammate, or is he going to be pushing up or whatever it might be, right? So I just don't want to walk into this hallway or walk up Whiskey double door and have him shoot me in my side or back, so I'm just getting more solidified information on him so that way I know how to approach the situation, whether I know I can just walk up the hallway to my teammate or I need to fight this guy. So I'm just getting information. I'm also listening as well while I'm doing that. So I saw him last second on the drone as he was swinging out and I was getting off. So I kind of hold him a little bit. Now, if you see what I do here, this is extremely crucial for my passiveness ability here. So I know he just swung the half wall here, right? His little head was popping out. He shot my drone in this position from that angle. So I know if you were to rotate from the VIP double door into white hallway and peek this white door here, that's going to be a little bit of time of rotation. And since he just peeked this angle here just a moment ago, I'm going to hold that, see if he repeaks. And if he doesn't, I know that he could rotate to white. And if I'm holding this angle here where he just peeked a moment ago, I'm exposing myself to the white angle here in that rectangle that I just drew. Does that make sense? So I don't want to be holding, you know, angle 1 when he could potentially rotate and swing me from angle 2 and I have to react and flick through that, you know, that path of that arrow. Does that make sense? So I play around with his rotation ability and things like that, and I'm playing passive. He ends up actually walking out of the VIP hallway there because I would have seen him cross white door, or sorry, the VIP half wall. And either way, me playing passive is what allowed me to win that gunfight and also hold such a crucial piece of map control. Does that make sense? So that's the example of playing passive. I hope that helps, and I hope you guys are following along and, you know, liking the tips in the video so far. Okay, the next thing that I want to cover is positioning. This is a huge concept and topic, not concept, but topic that I get asked about a lot in my Twitch chat, you know, my coaching and things like that. And I, again, you know, same thing with the aggressive and passiveness thing. I help a lot of my clients with these kind of things, and I see drastic improvement. So if you guys are interested in coaching, there's a link to my Patreon down below. It starts at $7 a month, and yes, I do coach console players. But either way, positioning here. So let's pay attention to how I position myself for this, you know, very, very sticky situation. So he thermites the wall. I try to impact trick it. I fail. So since I fail on the impact trick, I'm going to get aggressive because it is the less likely predictable or less predictable thing for me to do. And also another reason why I'm getting aggressive is because of those 3 factors that I was talking about in the passive and aggressive section of the video, where it's a 3v4, a minute 20 left, and the attackers have a lot of map control, so they have all 3 factors going for them. So I'm going to get a little aggressive here and try to look for a pick. Unfortunately, I don't get one. But pay attention to how I position myself. So there, I hear him walking up and in master. You know, I'm ready for the gunfight based off audio and hearing him close. So as soon as I kill that guy, I immediately reposition for close gen door, just because I'm most likely going to be called out in the position, you know, on top of the table in gen, close gen, breach, whatever it might be that the person I just killed might call out. As you see here again, pre-aim, very crucial thing. I'm properly pre-aimed at all times, head level. As I'm swinging, look at how my pre-aim is. It's locked in on a constant line. This is how you guys should be approaching pre-aiming. It should be locked in at all times. Unfortunately, I don't hit the Nomad or kill her. And notice what I do here again. I know that there's enemies in trophy behind me and going to be peeking the master breach, so I'm constantly swapping between the 2 positions, so that way I'm not predictable in my positioning. Because if I shoot at the Nomad and she you know, knows that I just shot at her, she might think that I'm still close trophy door, so I'm going to reposition potentially, or whatever it might be. I just don't want to make myself predictable in my positioning. I'm constantly making the attackers having to re-drone me, guess my positions, and things like that. You don't want to be predictable.
One coming white, twitch coming white.
Okay, so crucial call out here that really does determine my positioning overall in this situation. So as you see there, what am I stuck in? I'm stuck in a bad spot. I have to worry about the breach now and white stairs. So I have 2 angles to worry about that I'm also exposed to at the same time. So I need to be very crucial in how I take these gunfights. Or very calculated, rather, I should say. So I'm swapping between the 2. Now, what I do here is I commit to the gen breach because I know this is more solid information. I don't know exactly where the twitch is at. My teammate called it out roughly 3 seconds ago. So I know this Nomad is close breach. She just shot, so I'm going to be much more worried about this, while I try to eliminate the white angle as much as possible. So she swings out there, again, pre-aim. Look at the headshot. I shot 3 bullets or 4 bullets, whatever it was, and my last bullet hit her right in the head. Now I immediately take my attention to white because I know I just killed the person on gen. Breach to my left there, the master breach. I pre-fire that, and as I pre-fire that, the twitch is actually already top white stairs, so she managed to miss me in gen. But either way, now I'm stuck in a corner. I know she can't see me unless she walks in, and I know my teammate has that, so I'm not worried about that right now. Unless I peek it, of course, but you know what I mean.
Not top yet.
She's
Now top.
So she's fighting my teammate actively, and the reason I know that is because the twitch is shooting at something else besides me, or else I would get these little symbols here and the tracers in the sky there notify me that I'm being shot at. So a big thing with my positioning here is just making myself unpredictable. And you know, I eventually
God, Poppy. Jeez.
I eventually eliminate all the enemies trying to eliminate me.
I'm in as well. Planting.
Alright, so in this situation, 4v5, minute 15 left. Now, this is another example of positioning and kind of understanding a crucial piece of position to allow yourself to get kills. So as you see, my teammate's planting, right? We know back pillar is clear, you know, the back area where, like the opposite side, you know, the back pillar, I don't know what you guys call it, but the back pillar there. So I know the ace cannot be killed unless someone crosses in front of me on this angle on the breach. So if you see what happens here, I allow myself to position, or I position myself to allow myself to be in a crucial position to cut off major rotations on the bomb site and the map. I'm pretty much cutting the map in half based off my position, which allows me to get 3 kills in the span of like 2 seconds.
I'm planting.
So I refragged the smoke there. On the gridlock killed the smoke. And I refrag immediately. And then this bandit tries to cross from the cabinet here from rotate. I eliminate him. in just a moment you'll see. So I eliminate him, and you see I'm jumping between different positions because I'm killing one person in one position. So I know, unless you're in lower elo, it's really not common for people to be stacked in positions unless like that's the only area that they can play in the bomb site. So I'm jumping between positions because I kill one person here. Okay, I know no one is most likely going to be stacked there just based off game knowledge and experience of playing the game. The bandit runs from rotate across, I kill him. Now I'm looking blue because I killed someone connector and the rotate, which are the only two areas for them to really be to my left. So I look blue, I kill the blue guy. I immediately go back to holding the cross. Now, positioning here. Instead of me getting kill thirsty and, you know, wanting to walk into the bomb site, actively look for the kills, I make the defenders come to me and cross my angle here of me cutting the bomb site in half from, you know, their objective now, which is the diffuser that's successfully planted, and my teammates and I, versus me walking in, having to worry about, you know, 1, 2, and 3 different angles, which would be the blue door. I can only now worry about one, which would be this cross and this line here on the bomb site. Does that make sense? So those are my 2 examples for positioning and how they can help you increase your KD.
Top red.
Okay, so throughout this video, I've been talking a lot about pre-aim level, and I've really been trying to drill it into your guys' head of how important this skill set really is, and how much of a improvement it can be in increasing your KD pretty much as a, you know, at a snap of a finger if you really do work on it. If there's anything you can do today that will drastically change your KD from a low KD to a high KD, is this tip here of pre-aim. Especially if you're a console player where your aim isn't going to be as precise as it is on PC. Aiming for the head, hitting that 1 bullet headshot, first bullet as much as you can will change, you know, you just winning the gunfight based off 1 bullet versus, you know, 10 bullets or whatever it might be.
Kill him.
So in this video here, in this example, if you saw there, this Thunderbird just got tripped, and that tells me that someone just walked in master door based off that being tripped, and I know that there's no teammates over there, but also I would see their symbol and their outline and things like that. So I know that someone just walked in there, which is going to be the Twitch here. I react to that. Look at how perfect my pre-aim level is. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, I'm just trying to give an example. Look at this. Directly on the line, the plane of pre-aim levels. I'm telling you guys, this is such an important skill set, and it's crazy how much it can help you just overnight in winning more gunfights and increasing KD. I promise you, if you're conscious about it and very particular and try to perfect it as much as you can, it will drastically change how you win gunfights. And you'll see that in just a moment. So immediately there, I shoot 3 bullets. My last bullet hits the Twitch in the head. She strafes into my headshot. Perfect. Look at here. I pre-fire, aim, and you know my crosshair's perfectly head level. I swing the ace and I kill him. So let's just go back. Look at how perfect these 2 kills are just based off pre-aim. Anyone can do this here. So the Twitch swings there. I immediately swing the ace because I know that he's there. I shoot him right in the head. Perfect pre-aim, right? The whole time I'm pre-aiming, head level, head level. So that there is a great example of pre-aim, and you know, you can look at any of my clips throughout this video or when I play or whatever, and notice how I really try my hardest to keep pre-aim at a constant, you know, headshot level. Okay, so this next clip, I want to talk about making the enemy make the mistake for you, so that way it makes your job easier as you and your team, or just you as an individual. This is an underappreciated skill set that can also be applied fairly fast, and allowing the enemy to walk into you when you know you have the advantage of time or map control, whatever it might be. Those 3 concepts do apply to this skill set as well, but making the enemy make the mistake for you. So this is a prime example of that. So just to break down the situation here, it's a 2v3. Well, it's about to be a 2v5 in just a moment there. So my teammate dies, close master window, and I also hear the Aruni, so I know that she is close master window, and I'm holding her cross actively. 2v5 situation, 2 minutes left on the clock.
Oh, wait, that'd be master. I didn't click with me.
So right there, I don't know if you guys heard that. I'll go back. Right there, that is the audio cue of someone vaulting out of the window. I react to it. I should have been holding it, to be fair, but I was more worried about holding her cross back into master because I knew that she was stuck in this corner on the hatch. Unless she dropped hatch, obviously, but I would still get the audio cue of that notifying me that she did drop. So either way, I'm just trying to hold her across from the bomb site, or if she leaves, then I'm not really too worried about it. But either way, she jumps out. I kill her successfully. Now I'm just trying to make the enemy make the mistake for me. So I see that guy peeking, I quick peek him, I one tap him. Really not that big of a deal. You know, that's a pretty free kill there. Like, he's just hard holding an angle when he shouldn't be on a shield, so I just take advantage of that. Again, he made a huge mistake there, right? He is looking over a shield versus looking through it, right? I mean, shields are one of the most, it is arguably the strongest piece of secondary utility in the game right now, and he's not utilizing it properly, making that mistake, and I punished him for it. So he made the mistake for me, and I killed him.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that was nasty.
I see this guy peeking study window. I one tap him, again, making the mistake for me. I'm just checking common angles, seeing if there's an enemy there, and most of the time, you know, in these angles, there was the enemy there, and I just, you know, shoot them.
Okay. What are they doing? For real?
Friendly, last operator standing.
Okay, so my teammate dies there, as you see. Now, I would have kept droning, but since he did die, there's 3-4 windows next to me that the defenders can run out of. So I don't want to be worried about multiple angles all at the same time. So I'm just going to try to eliminate as many as I can, you know, eliminate these angles, so that way I'm not stuck between like the closet window and the double master windows and things like that while I'm on drones. So I'm just trying to reposition myself basically there. I successfully killed the vigil. I saw him kind of cross, and I just shot through the barricade, killed him. So they're just walking into me. I've taken very little HP. I've taken 4 gunfights now, and I've lost let's see, 19 HP between 4 gunfights. And the only person that's hit me so far was the Iruni, and that was the first person I fought. So again here, they're just peeking into me, right? They're making the mistake for me. I'm holding angles, they're peeking into me, and I'm punishing them for making their mistakes. Some people here might go off of their own momentum of getting a kill, jumping in, making a mistake in that 1v1 against that Mozzie there that, you know, I did end up killing, right? So that's something that you guys need to keep in mind, is allow the enemy to make the mistakes for you. That went from, you know, 2 minutes and 3 seconds to, let's see here, 2 minutes and 3 seconds of the round to 1minute 26. So in less than half a minute, I killed, like 30 seconds or 31 seconds or something, I killed 5 enemies. So if that just goes to show how massive of an impact that can have. And you don't even need to get the ace, you know, in situations like this. You can also get 1 kill or 2 kills because the enemy makes a mistake for you, right? So this is a very underappreciated skill set that you guys can start implementing today. You know, similar with pre-aim, where you allow people just to walk in front of you and you're already pre-aiming angles and things like that because they're making the mistake for you. I hope that's making sense, and I'm kind of reiterating and re-explaining, but I want to get it across, you know, how you can utilize this to your advantage. Okay, now in this next clip, I want to talk about eliminating angles. So I have a very basic concept that you guys can apply and kind of thought process to this skill set, which is the less angles you are exposed to, the less likely you are to be in danger. So the less angles you're exposed to also kind of correlates to the amount of danger that you're in. So if you're only exposed to 1 angle and you're looking at it, then, you know, you're exposed to minimal danger. If you're exposed to 5 angles and you're only looking at 1, you have 4 angles that are being unattended to. Does that make sense? And you know, Siege is a very dynamic game. You can be shot through walls, floors, and things like that. So it really does depend on the situation that you're in. But something to keep in mind about positioning is eliminating those angles, so that way your level of threat opposed to you goes down with it. That's also another very basic concept that I go over all the time with my clients in my coaching service. So again, if you guys are interested in that, there's a link to that down below in the description. So as you see here, the attackers have both hatches open. They have archives and small office hatch open. And then there was also just an explosion above me that opens a hole from top metal. So what I'm doing here is, if we kind of draw a bird's eye view of what I am positioning myself through. So if this is back workshop here, let's just say right around here is the door where that block's at. I'm here next to this desk, and you know, the hole's right above me. The archives hatch is somewhere over there, and then, you know, my teammates are doing, you know, their own thing over here in server and things like that. But I am eliminating my angle from the doorway, potentially from someone in waiting area, or overall just a blue hallway just to my right outside of the door. So I'm putting myself in this corner so that way I'm not exposed from an angle like that from outside of the bomb site into it. So the only two things that I currently have to worry about is the hatch and top metal. Now, the reason that I'm holding the way that I am is because the archives hatch is such a deep angle that they have to play super close to it. So I'm more worried about the thing above me that I also have a lot fresher information on since it was just opened versus the hatch being opened 30 seconds ago or whatever it was. So yeah, I'm more worried about this. And also this is a high traffic area, top metal for the attackers to run around the map and walk down the top metal staircase and things like that.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. They're on hatch.
Did they push up
Side hatch. I think they're on both hatches. Yeah, they have it both.
So as you see there, my teammates pretty much just calling out. They're on both side hatches, on hatch, whatever it might be. And since I'm not getting anyone from this hatch here, or sorry, this hole rather, I'm more worried about the archives hatch because I can hear people around here. I would hear them walk up through, just the audio propagating. So I'm not too worried about that currently. So I turn my attention to the archives hatch, and then I go immediately back into my position of eliminating the angle, right? So I eliminate the angle from the hallway to my right through the workshop door.
What the fuck are you doing, Caleb? Yeah, he just went for flank and he died. They have walking in from metal.
So the sledge opens vertical play there as well. I react to it pretty much. And now I reposition. What I've said previously about repositioning, after you get a kill, you're most likely going to be called out, so you want to make yourself less predictable. Luckily, that sledge was pretty much one shot, so I injured and then just finished him off. So eliminating angles here again, look guys. So I eliminate all the angles, that can be used against me. I'm playing audio cues of the hatch above me, so I know if I hear someone above me, I'm hearing them through the hatch, and then I can react to that because I'll hear them walk up to the hatch before they can actually peek through and pose a threat to me. I'm positioning myself behind this blue little, I don't know, piece of furniture, I guess you could say, from anywhere in workshop and any deep angles that they might have on me, while I turn my attention to the workshop door in the hallway, just so that way if someone does come here into the hallway, I can see them, I can shoot them, fight, whatever, and I'm not being exposed to anything besides what I'm listening to above me and what I'm seeing in front of me. Everywhere else, I'm pretty much safe. So eliminating angles in that aspect. So I swing out here. Now look how tight I am playing next to this blue piece of furniture again. So look at how I'm positioning myself. I eliminated the angle from the blue hallway to my left through the workshop door that I was just looking through a moment ago by playing closer to this object, making me a harder target to see and hit from outside of the bomb site, while I'm still listening above me for the hatch that's directly above me I know is open. I just killed the Monty there just a moment ago. And now I'm looking at the site rotate here. So I'm listening above me, looking in front of me while eliminating as many angles around me as I can, which I don't believe I'm exposed to any besides the one that I'm listening for and the one that I'm looking at currently. So I hear someone droning, so I know at least. So I know where the last two are at now. My teammate just died. He called out detention, which is the little jail area in customs just across the map diagonally from me. And then I know the other one's above because I heard him get off on a drone, and I also hear him sprinting around upstairs right now.
One's above.
So as you see here, I reposition myself. I eliminate angles by going vertically higher, so that way it makes me a harder target to hit vertically, because if I'm the closer I am to the ceiling, the harder it is for someone to get an angle on me diagonally from vertical play. Does that make sense? So if I can kind of draw a diagram here. So in diagram 1 and diagram 2, let's say I'm down in this position X, and this line is the vertical play, and this position is also where the enemy is. If I'm lower on the ground, it's going to make them easier to see me, versus if they're in the same position but I'm a little bit higher up, elevated on something like a desk in this example, it makes me a harder target to see because of the metal bars and how the geometry works of the angles. So I eliminate the angle of the vertical play. I also hear the Flores get on his drone, so I'm much more giving my attention to the person detention, which I kill here in just a moment. So I hear him shoot the blue cam there from the customs door, so I react to that, and I know the floors are still above me. So I kill the ace there. Now I know the last person above. I see the drone there. I try to shoot it. He gets off drone. He drops server hatch there, so now I take advantage of vertical play.
Yeah, you vertical plays. Just hold. He's in A. Archive's hatch is open.
He's playing. He's playing, I think, by the door. No. He's deep A.
So there I make a mistake. Just based off audio, I misread the audio. But here, look what I do. So I know that he's planting back workshop because I just looked all over vent and I didn't see him. So that process of elimination, based off what my teammate is calling, he's planting the other door. And him not being in vent, like I know he's going to be back workshop where I was just positioned a moment ago next to that blue piece of furniture. So I drop. I eliminate all angles besides this one here because I know he's going to be back workshop. So I want to make sure that if he were to peek me, I am ready for the gunfight through either, you know, close here or the doorway. So as soon as I know that he doesn't peek me there, he's most likely committed to back workshop since he didn't push up. And I catch him there, you know, on the head glitch here. Now, another thing, again, pre-aim, right? So if we go back to how I slice the room and take the pre-aim, look at how I pre-aim here. I could have been a little bit better here because I know that if he were to be holding the blue piece of furniture like I was, he could be standing something like that where that X is at, where his head could be. But if you look at how I take the angle here, I'm pre-aiming crouch height because I know if someone's going to be holding back workshop, they're most likely going to be holding on this desk here, which is going to give them more cover. And you're not going to stand and hold something like this, right? Like if this were your player model, you're not going to stand and hold that, right? Because you're just going to expose more of your body. So you're going to be crouched so that way you show less of a target to hit, and it's also a smaller target since it's your head. And that's, you know, what ended up happening here by the Flores crouch walking behind the piece of furniture, and I react to kill him, and that is that. So that is everything that I have for you guys in this tip video on how to improve your KD. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, let me know how you guys like the style of tip video versus my older kind of, you know, scripted content with me going tip by tip. Let me know if these examples help in these clips and, you know, kind of applying it to a real life situation. Like I said throughout the video, there's a link to my coaching service. So if you guys are looking for in-depth help like this here, you know, with one-on-one coaching, monthly or weekly, with me live in my Discord server, talking back and forth, and also having access to my DMs, you know, 24/7, ask me any questions that you might have. That could be a small question of what attachment to use, or something huge as, you know, what should I do in this situation? My DMs are always open for my clients there on my Patreon. So if you guys are interested in that service, there's a link to it down below in the description. I've helped over 250 clients. They've all seen improvement. And I also coach console players, so there's no worry there. Also, while you're watching this actively, I'm going to be live on Twitch with the brand new season and year Demon Veil. So year 7's right around the corner. And as you're watching this, I'm going to be live. So there's a link to my Twitch, as well as all my other social media down below in the description. But I will be live right now on Twitch. So if you want to pop over there, drop me a follow if you haven't already. Just come say what's up. I would love to see you there. But with all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something new, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.